Alright guys, how you doing? Welcome to the video. I had somebody in one of my previous videos ask if I could do sort of a little breakdown of how I produce 3 different types of videos using the same footage to add more value to the client, therefore being able to charge more. So I'm going to do a quick video right now to show you that, and we're going to be using the example. If you go to my YouTube channel and you search Always Loved, you will see that there is a film there. It's a 4K film, a maternity film of a husband, wife, and child looking at pictures of a new baby that's coming into their lives. And the was how you can add more value to a customer and therefore be able to charge more and make it just to give them a lot of bang for their buck. So that's what we're talking about now, video specific. I will touch on the photos as well. For this project, we charged around $1,200. So the client was getting the 4K video, which is about 2 minutes long, a minute and a half long actually, a vertical video to use for reels or shorts if they have platforms to post it like that, and also a square version of the video. So let's jump over to the computer and look at how we make that stuff. Okay, so for that video I did use the Canon EOS M Lite, which if you know anything about the using Magic Lantern, you will have to use the MLV app to edit or import the footage first. We won't go into that. If you're just using whatever camera and you're ready to go, let's go. We're going to jump into Premiere here. I'm just going to put my Lumiture scopes on the screen just to add color. I don't know why. So the video itself is just sort of a montage of the family walking around downtown Mobile. I like to get some cut shots of, you know, different things so it's not just people. There's a nice little cut shot of her holding the ultrasound photos and things like that. There's dad and the current son running around. They're actually having a baby girl. There's a nice little street lamp, stuff like that. We'll kind of play this. I'll tell you just sort of about it. Let me mute it real quick. You know, you don't always just want to see people's faces because then it just becomes a big people face video. You want some stuff to cut in and out of, so that's where you're seeing the azaleas and the hands and the ultrasound photo and all that good stuff. And this is, I can't stress enough guys, like when they watch this in 10 years or even when this little girl watches this when she's an adult, this is, you know, her right there in those photos. So it seems kind of lame to some people to do this kind of work, but to me, you just can't put a price on this kind of stuff, and therefore you can charge a good bit. You should also be honest about your work and don't overcharge if you're not highly experienced, and work your way up in that regard. But yeah, I love that shot of the little boy kissing his mom's belly, his new sister. So yeah, this is just sweet little film, and the very end is like my favorite shot, just going in the sunset. You can see the sun peeking through. Really cool. So that's the 4K video that they get, which they'll share, you know, on Facebook if they have a family YouTube channel, which I suggest everybody having a family YouTube channel. They can put it on there, that kind of thing, and they'll put it on a flash drive and save it for years to come. And who knows, you know, on our birthday year they might just post it. It's weird, like we don't quite know yet what the future holds, because my family didn't. My mom did a great job. She had the little Fujifilm instant cameras that you would buy for $5 and develop the 35mm or whatever. But we don't really know what the future holds, because like wedding videos and these lifestyle videos are sort of new. So there's not really one that exists yet that's 20 years old. The oldest wedding videos we have now are on sticks in the background with a mini DV camera, and they look terrible sound. There's no storytelling, it's just a stagnant camera. So it's going to be interesting to see in 20 years how these films hold up and what they mean to people and how they're utilized. Like, or, you know, you can sit down on your anniversary and watch them, sure, but you know, if you have a vows renewal, maybe they'll recut it up to announce it, or maybe they'll show it on a big screen at the renewal. So I'm really interested to see how that goes. But let's get into some of the editing here. Of course, this is just straightforward. As you can see, I've got a B-roll layer. I do have a dust and scratches layer that gives it a little more film look, which the opacity is on like 20%. So you probably can't see it, but it's there. If you ever watched it on a 4K TV. I do watch all my videos on my 4K TV just to see how they look. It looks really, really good. I'm actually seeing, okay, there's a little artifact there. I was wondering what that was. But yeah, blue layer down here is the voiceover. I got them to record a really simple voiceover that I wrote. And that's where the title came from, Always Loved. And then you've got your music bed here. So yeah, pretty straightforward on that edit. Like that's something you would just regularly edit, right? So let's get into the vertical video. Here's the vertical video. So what I do is I always edit the big video first. Let's call the 4K the big video, right? So I edit the big video first because I'm going to work off of that afterwards. So we've got our big video. What you'll do is go to it here in the left if you're in Premiere. If you're in Final Cut or DaVinci, you can do the same thing. You're just going to duplicate it. So I've already done that, but we'll do one from scratch here in a second. I've duplicated it and I've just titled it vertical. So if you open it up and if we go to sequence settings, what I'll do is once I duplicate it, I will go change the sequence settings to 1080 by 1920. Keep all the frame rate, all that's the same. And then what you're gonna have to do, you can plop all your in here. You can see this generally looks the same. The only issue is you'll have to come in here and resize and reposition your footage to fit. And like, so for this shot, it's a good example. It was a shot of him and her. So what I did was I cut the clip in half and I went half on his face and then half on her face. So you just got to play with all those shots. This one ends up being the same length. Now we could come in here and go copy and paste another copy and do 1 minute. Okay, so just that's another thing I like doing in Premiere, guys. I don't really like to delete things or edit over them. I'll just make a copy, because then again, like, what if it's like, oh, I like that last edit, but I've already changed everything and I can't undo Z. You can always go back because you've got copies of everything. So now we have a copy of the vertical, right? And we've got it labeled as 1 minute, because what we're going to do now, let's say they want YouTube. Well, it's too long for that. I can come in here, set my endpoint, and now I know I need to start editing this and compressing it down into 1 minute. And maybe there's like the A-roll shots that are just these shots I gotta have, and then there's some filler shots that they're okay, but they're not great. Maybe those are the shots I take out for the 1 minute version. And last thing we'll go through, same thing with the main timeline vertical. We can copy and paste, and I'll delete the word vertical, and I'll okay. And here we'll go to settings and we'll change this to 1920 by 1920 and say okay, okay. And now you have a square version. And again, same thing applies. Some of these shots are going to line up just right. That shot doesn't line up just right. So we're going to come in here, and I think this one we can put both of them in the frame, right? And so on and so forth. You're just going to go through and everything. And maybe you make a 1 minute version of this as well. You could do whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. The point is, that didn't take much work, right? All I was doing was copy and pasting, resizing, maybe changing the time, and then changing the shot composition. And the thing that we talked about in that previous video that got this video made and requested was basically people thought that it was a good idea to package this and then add value, therefore you can raise your price. You know, I could just charge $1,200 for this main video, and that's worth it. Like, I would not use a wink of over that, but I don't want to just give my customers the bare minimum. I want to give them this beautiful video, but then 3 alternate versions that they can use in different ways, as well as, wait for it, photos. So if you're just a videographer and you don't have a stills camera, well, that's that. But most of us do use a camera or have a camera laying around that is capable of shooting stills. So how much extra time did it take me to shoot and edit these photos? Probably 40 minutes if you count the time I shot them and the time I edited them. And it just adds so much more value to the customer. So now, not only do they have videos that they can post on social media, they can revisit in the future, but they have actual photos, not screenshots of the video. By the way, guys, I'm the Canon 6, the R6 in between the video shots to get these photos. They have the videos and photos to hang in their home and to put in an album or to, you know, put in a frame on the desk, what have you. It just adds a lot of value. And, you know, I'm of the personal opinion that photos are a little more important than video. Be controversial coming from me because I do so much video, but photos don't have to be queued up. Photos aren't going to corrupt. Like if you print photos and hang them on your wall like we do in our house, they're just timeless, and they kind of get better with age, depending on how good the photos are to begin with. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's how I would package this. You know, you get the 4K video, you get the vertical video, you get the vertical 1 minute video, you get the square video, square 1 minute video, you get the photos. And going even beyond that, I used to put together, and sometimes I still will, but Photoshop kind of messed me up on this because they used to have this cool feature in the iPad where you could put together these really nice collages, and I would put together 3 or 4 of those, mainly for my own social media posting, because I found if I post one photo of a single collage, it gets more likes than if I post all those same photos in that collage individually and you have to scroll through them. And collages, I think, look good. It kind of gives you the overall color scheme and the environment look. But Photoshop has since changed that inside of the app, or at least I didn't see it last time I was there. And you know, I have to airdrop the photos, then do the collage and airdrop it back. And I just didn't do it for this. Maybe I'll do it now just to do a test, and maybe go check in my post to see if I posted it. I think I am going to do it, so I'll pull out the old iPad that has the old Photoshop version on it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it or got any value, consider subscribing. Not the best YouTuber of all time, but I'm out here grinding. I'm trying to do it. I will be hopefully at NAB in the next few weeks, so stay tuned for that because that's going to be pretty cool. I don't know how many videos I'll put out, but I will put out some videos when I get back. I'm super excited to be going to that for my very first time. That is the largest camera show, as far as I know, in the world, in Las Vegas. But yeah, without further ado, I will see you in the next video. Peace.